Do you know what you wanted to be when you were little? Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm an educator with a new job this year and a new commute and this new podcast. And you're along for the drive today. You're riding shotgun with me in the car. This podcast is me on the way to or from work, driving around, talking to myself, debriefing the day. And what we're talking about today is, what did you want to be when you were little? I got an email from somebody from the yearbook today, and they are responsible for doing, I guess, a spread about the new teachers. There were 5 of us this year, I think. And so she asked me a few questions about the school, or what I thought about teaching there, what I thought about the kids, what surprised me. And then she also put on there, what did you want to be when you were little? The first thing I thought was president. When I have a distinct memory of, I think this was when I was 6. This is like the first time that I was aware of presidential elections. And my mom told me that she was going to go vote, and I had seen the president, or I guess whoever was running for president, on TV a lot, I guess, and I knew that they always wore suits, and for some reason I thought that going to vote meant I was going to go meet this person. Don't know how I got that in my head, but that's what I thought. So I demanded that before I went with my mom to vote, that she let me put on my church suit. This was a more common thing to have in the 80s. We don't really do this now. But like every little kid had a little suit. So I put on my suit and these super uncomfortable dress shoes that I don't even know if they fit. And I went to the polling place with my mom to vote. And then I guess maybe I hadn't given her the whole plan all along, and at first she just thought I was a weird kid and wanted to wear a suit. But then I think as we were leaving, I said something like, when are we going to meet the president? And then that's when she was laughing at me, because that's when she realized why I was in a suit. I think that was one aspiration. But as I was, I used to play Explorer a lot also, so I thought about putting that down as my answer. I had a pair of binoculars that I really enjoyed playing with, and from an oddly, probably young age, I really enjoyed maps and pretending I had a spyglass. That's pretty common for kids, I think, still, but I was going to be an explorer. I was pretty young too. And then I thought about it even further, and something that I did a lot is something I'm kind of doing right now. I had a tape recorder that I loved and a tape that I could record on. And so something that I would do a lot is sing along with the radio and record myself singing, or even more than that, I would pretend that I was on the radio, that I had a radio show, and that I was interviewing people. My parents listened to a lot of talk radio, like when I was in the car with them, and so I would practice emulating what I heard on KMOX here in St. Louis, and I would pretend that I would have a radio show, and so I would come up with questions for me, the radio host, to ask my guests, and then with a usually probably higher or accented voice, I would come up with different answers to the questions. Sometimes I would, in a real cringy way now, like try to sound like Chinese, or what I thought was Chinese or Asian. That one was really cringe, so I'm glad there's no recordings of that. But I was really interested in different ethnicities and cultures also. That's where that was coming from. And so then I would, so I would interview myself as a guest, and then I would play that back for my sister and make her listen to that. And God bless her, she at least pretended to listen, and then I would do that all over again. I think actually sometimes she would even do it with me, which is really good of her, because she's 5 years older than me, so that's hard to do, to play with a 5-year-old, someone who's 5 years older than you. So she would have been like 10 and 5. And if I was anything, if her at 10 was anything like my current 10-year-old that I have right now, like she would have been way too interested in what she was doing and doing cool things for 10-year-olds than playing with her 5-year-old brother. But what's really interesting is, I guess that's not much more different than what we're doing now, because my sister is one of the biggest fans of the pod, and so my whole life my sister Jen has been listening to me talk to myself on recordings and been a real trooper about it. So I think that was my first what I wanted to be, was I wanted to be on the radio. And who knew that podcasting would come out and I'd get to do this for free, put myself out there and not even getting paid for it. But what about you? What did you want to be when you grew up, when you were little? What did you want to be when you grew up, when you were little? What was your first career aspiration? Let me know what you think. Send me a message on the X at Chuck C. Baker. Send me on Instagram at Drivetime Diary or at Mr. C. Baker for math. Or find me on the Facebook or hit me up in real life. Make this a carpool instead of just a you and me shotgun, and share this with anybody you know. And until then, drive safe. We'll see you on the next drive.